Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where Laf and I are back in the studio and ready to give you the whole bang shaloodle.
Yeah, international racing, local racing, and some good horses to follow.
Well, I think that it was a pretty big weekend, you know. Unfortunately, What a Winter got rolled, Shay got rolled. Fourth seemed to be the flavour of the day.
I had two runners. Where did they run?
Fourth.
Yeah. Flavour
So
of the day.
all the top guys.
All the top guys ran fourth. Don't forget that.
Okay, don't forget that. Let's rather go and find some three to follow. Let's go and have a look at them. Yeah, remember that the 2-year-old sale catalogue is online, so you can go to www.tba.co.za. You'll get the catalogue online, and you can get all the results from previous sales, which are quite interesting to go through. But let's move straight into our three to follow and go and see what we've got there. First one, Laf. Royal Roy.
Yeah, this horse, Tony said, had a little interruption in his prep, and by Fastnet Rock. He looked a bit burly. He's a lovely horse. He's just having his debut run, and as I say, by Fastnet Rock, they're one of the leading stallions in the world, a record breaker in Australia as a stallion. That we got a few in the country, but this horse runs a good race, James. He gets tired and runs fourth, but runs a good race.
Well, he's there, right up there in the vanguard. He's about 3 off the left in the Moodley colours with the green sleeves, getting a little scrub there to stay in the race. And the other Moodley horse is the horse Preach Connection, has run quite a lot of times, and they come next to each other now. But Fastnet Rock, he's quite nice horses.
Yeah, he is a nice horse. He's going to be a fit horse. The winner's in behind him. Solomio, which is in Sheikh Mo's colours, right behind the horse we're following. And right here, this horse, even though he's big, he runs up to hit the front. He runs a very good race. Solomio is sneaking through and he's inside, but he's had enough in the finish, this horse.
Yeah, certainly looks like he's being given every bit of assistance from the saddle, but just can't go on with it. And Solomia, who didn't run a very good race first time out, came and affected the win here, so it was pretty good. I think this horse probably go on and be quite a nice horse.
Nice type of horse. He'll be a much tighter horse next time.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, and we go to Clarewood. This was the Saturday race meeting, the Mercury Handicap race day, and Mike de Kock stepped out a couple of really decent horses on the day. The first one we pick up is a first-timer called Star Point. It's a little bit in the mists of time there. Could be Scotland, but apparently there were trucks going up and down the road.
Yeah, very, very hazy. For the first 3 furlongs, we were absolutely trying to work out where these horses are, but it's in the middle by itself, if I can say that. It's got the nose bend,
right,
and it's sort of going towards the right to them, and runs a very good debut. It's in blue colours. When we start getting colours to these photos, you'll see it's in blue and runs a very good race.
It's slap in the middle of the picture. Sheepskin noseband about 4th or 5th at this stage. The winner is in the orange right in front of him. That's 3rd at the moment, and that goes on and wins a nice race for the Miller stable. And
Sacred Jewel, that wins the race there. And I had a horse in this race, James, coming down the red cap, right on the inside now. Niece's Love, a girl against a boy. She runs a very good race. I thought for a moment she was going to beat them, but she's run that way. And the horse we picked is in the blue. These two come up the inside, and I thought they're going to run 1 and 2 because the leaders had a few lengths on them, but the leader rallied.
The leaders got away, and in fact we picked Niece's Love last time as one to follow, and I think that you can carry on following her. She could be quite good, but this horse is by Fort Wood out of a Fitzcarraldo mare, stayed on all the way to the finish and just beaten out of 2nd place. He'll be a nice horse.
He'll be a nice horse, especially going a little bit further, James.
Certainly, that's exactly what we're looking at for him to go a mile or so. I think that he'll be Fort Woods. They're normally at their best over a bit more distance. We go later on in the day and we pick up another one of Mike de Kock's horses, this horse Red Barrel. Now, if you think your mind back, you'll remember that he won the Emperor's
You won
Yeah.
that
Million
restricted
rand
race.
race,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, million rand race or $1.5 million, what it was at the time. A very decent, by right approach. I think Herbert bought this horse
Yeah.
for them, and it won early, won a very good race. And how many days off, James?
500 and odd days. He's been off for over a year and a half. This horse has been gelded, been bought back. But I was chatting to Mike the other day, and he said to me, this is a very decent horse. So have a good look at him. He said he'd probably need the first run, which he did. He gave the
We
third
get better
horse.
pictures now.
Oh, yeah,
The
much better.
haze is lifted. Let's go and have a look at this. One by Bravura carrying 64 and a half. And a very enterprising ride by Sean Cormack on this. But the horse we found there were on the famous Eoster Silks as well. This one sports the black cap. Coming back from a long break. A decent field here.
Yeah, he sports the red cap, red barrel. Bravura's got the black cap on. He goes to the front. And it was a nice field for a small field. Gray's in control. Ran second, but he had about 49 to carry. This horse gave him about 8 kilos. So it was a pretty good run for
Pretty
this
good
type
run
of
from,
race.
yeah. And a comeback run. Very good run by Red Barrel. The winner, Bravura, gets a really good ride, as I've mentioned. And he's always been a very good horse. Nice to see him bounce back for Joey Rams and Sean Cormack and the Eosters. But the horse we're picking up is in fourth now. And as James said, it's got the red cap and the shadow roll and runs a decent race.
Well, you'll see the Gray's in controls in second. Selborne Supremacy, who won his last start, is on the outside of Red Barrel. Red Barrel's now in fourth place. And here, Sean Cormack rides a tremendous tactical race, 64 and a half. He just lets Bravura stride along, pinches 3 or 4 lengths, and that's basically the rest of them put to bed. But Red Barrel moves up to Gray's in control and actually goes into second here. Looks like he's
Runs a
going to
very
run
good race.
second.
Yeah, he had 57 as well. Did Red Barrel, so it's a good run. And after a long break, it's got to be a really promising run. Let's hope he comes back fine because he runs a great race.
Yeah, I think he might be worth following this horse. He certainly looks like a horse that could be thrown into the mix next year in some of those big handicaps, or certainly later on this year. Because I think he'll go a bit further in this as well. Looks like he'll stay on.
Yeah.
Red Barrel. That's the next one of the 3 that you've got to follow. And we've got some big racing coming up. The Champions Cup Day, which includes the Gold Cup this year. That's on the 27th. So we're going to have a look in Blast from the Past at last year's Champions Cup.
Meters, head-on shot. Runners set in motion. Castlethorpe just slots in at the back of the field early. The yellow cap of Buy and Sells right there. Yellow Silks of Tales of Bravery moving around. Master Plan between them. Black Wing ridden out to hold his position to the rail. Solar Traveller just had to check for a stride at the rail there on the heels of Black Wing. Master Plan's around. Chesalon. Gold Onyx is further out in the track. Then comes Castlethorpe, and they're racing about 7-8 lengths off them. The yellow cap of Buy and Sell now going to stretch him out for his stable companions. Gold Onyx is around them, 10 lengths off the leader. Then we drop back to White Line Fever, the red cap and blinkers. A nice side-on shot of Buy and Sell by a length and a half. Sets the fractions. Yellow Silks of Tales of Bravery second. 2 lengths away at the 1,000-meter mark, we're going to find Black Wing. A further length and a quarter, Master Plan. Chesalon's in the pink silks to the stand side. First 4 runners race in Indian Fowl. Solar Traveller, red blinkers towards the inside. Gold Onyx, White Line Fever, now only a neck between the 2 stable companions. They're about to start winding up. Pierre Jordan heading towards the back end of the field. The blinkers got about 10-11 to make up Castlethorpe. Buy and Sell stretches out freely by 4. Tales of Bravery has Dead Aim on in second. In turn, 2 lengths, Black Wing, who now gets rousted along. 3 ranks, Master Plan, Chesalon, Solar Traveller. Top of the lane, Buy and Sell. Tales of Bravery. Black Wing now looks to run on. Master Plan is looking a big runner towards the inside. A length and a half to make up. Castlethorpe looking to run on. Master Plan and Black Wing the last 100. Tales of Bravery. Black Wing. Master Plan continues to plug away on the inside and looks to get up now. Master Plan got Black Wing. Solar Traveller third. Tales of Bravery. Castlethorpe, Chesalon. Gold Onyx down the field along with White Line Fever.
Well, there you go. That's a taste of things to come in a couple of weeks' time. And Master Plan didn't do anything from then till this year, and then came back and bounced.
He's come back to himself. Yeah, well done to Muzi Eni and Greg Enian. They produced this horse at the right time. You don't, the runner-up Blackwing hasn't forged on, but might be turning it around again. And Solar Trevor tells Braby that's overseas, isn't it? I think it's gone to Mauritius.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Castlethorpe.
Yeah.
White Line Fever ran his usual sort of race and did the same in the July 5th or 6th. So, you know, it was one of those races. Pierre Jourdan now retired. But as we say, in a couple of weeks' time, we got the Champions Cup Day, including the Gold Cup. It's going to be a fantastic day's racing. Let's go and have a look at our plum of the week.
Princess Ayana second. Athena's going to go through down the inside. They're followed by Mystical Mouse, Jamboree touching base, Sacania. Coco's the leader. Athena now becomes the danger on the inside, still under the hands towards the outside. Mystical Mouse coming out of the 200. Coco the leader, but Athena's putting on big pressure. And Athena goes on by, and they're not going to get to this one. And Athena's got it one to win it and easing up by about 2 lengths. Second position will go to Coco. Third place, Semra just gets up close for fourth, Princess Ayana or Sacania.
Well, this Fort Wood filly of Joey Somers looked the business in this race, and he ran her because he couldn't get her in the big race on Champions Cup Day. The handicapper said she was borderline.
Yeah, and he said we had to run it 2 weeks apart, you know, and he thought it was the right thing to do. He took a bit of flack for it, but horse won like a training toss, and he's got it qualified. I think it was the right thing to do.
Absolutely, and on top of that, you could have got 7-2 in buckets on Interbet. It was 7-2. It was much shorter than that with the bookmakers. Ended up, I think, about 2-1 favourite, but 7-2 you could have got on this filly, and she really was strongly fancied by the stable, and she's obviously pretty damn good too. So
yeah,
we'll have a good close look at her come 2 weeks' time in Champions Cup Day.
Yeah,
I think it's at the Queenie or something.
Something like it, yeah.
One of those fillies races. But we're going to move on, and we're going to have a look at current affairs, where we have some interesting racing to have a look at.
Can this be win number 16? He's defending.
Right, there we go, and we're going to show you 3 races, 2 from overseas, because as James alluded to earlier, we have got to have a look at Shay Shay running. And but the first race we're going to show you comes from our very own Clarewood racetrack, where we've got the Mercury Sprint. James, a Grade 1 race, and the final shot for the favourite.
Yeah, it was meant to be, you know, the sort of farewell party, but unfortunately it ended up the farewell, morgue. But he's been a fantastic horse, and I think he'll do it at stud. I've actually booked a mare to him. I really like this horse. I think he's a great horse.
So there are 4 now, 4 Western Winters who are going to be at stud. And there's Argonaut, Warm White Knight. Don't go blank on me now. This will be number 4. There's 4. I can't think of the third one. No. But Western Winter's always been a great stallion, so nice to get another son there. Very good horse, What a Winter, James. If one looks back on his career, fantastic horse.
Fabulous horse, multiple Group 1 winner, 5 and 6 furlongs, didn't matter to him. He was just very good, and I think the people that will really be kicking themselves after this race is the Via Africa connections, because they didn't go for the race, and when you see what won, All Is Secret won, and Via Africa gave her a